Good evening. It is great to have you here with us tonight. I'm Joshua Robinson, and we're beginning with breaking news we've been tracking tonight out of Stevens County. As fire crews are working to get a large brush fire that started earlier today under control. That fire is near Pine Hill and State Route 291. The Corkscrew fire has burned about 30 to 40 acres on our last check and has threatened as many as 30 homes at one point tonight. Level 3 evacuation orders were issued earlier today, but within the past few hours, the Stevens County Sheriff's Office has ordered those evacuation orders to be lifted. About 190 firefighters from the DNR and other local and statewide agencies are involved, but they are reportedly struggling to bring in bulldozers due to the rocky terrain.
It moved rapidly. It went from that acre, it shot up the hill. When I arrived on scene, I arrived at the top of the ridge to start with, and the trees were exploding up the side of the hill. It jumped the road, almost got into some homes. We had crews there protecting the residences.
And for those reasons, roads along State Route 291 are restricted to homeowners only. Crews expect to be fighting the fire for several days. You can keep your eyes on KREM 2 News for all of our latest information surrounding the Corkscrew fire. And right now, Spokane's air quality has changed from good to moderate as smoke from wildfires burning in British Columbia are blowing into the region. That smoke will continue to cause hazy skies and reduce the air quality in some areas of eastern Washington. Idaho's air quality has yet to be affected by the smoke, but as winds shift this weekend, Idahoans should expect the same hazy conditions. As we mentioned, the bulk of the heavy smoke is coming from fires burning near Vancouver, British Columbia. Those fires started at the height of the historic heat wave that's been moving through the northwest over the past week. And as we head into the holiday tomorrow, it is important to keep in mind there are several burn bans currently in place. In Washington, the DNR has issued a statewide burn ban. This weekend, outdoor burning, campfires, and charcoal barbecues are prohibited on DNR land. The ban will also stay in effect through September 30th. It might, though, be shortened depending on fire conditions. So far this year, there have been 564 reported fires that have been on or that have threatened DNR land, and of those fires, 427 have been in eastern Washington. You can still use charcoal barbecues at home, but you are asked to make sure your coals are dead out before disposing of them. And these burn bans have made camping this weekend a little trickier, but campers at Riverside State Park are finding a way to still enjoy their time this 4th of July while following those DNR restrictions. In fact, Washington State Parks say, quote, the campfire ban is necessary to help prevent accidental wildfires, especially during these extremely dry conditions the state's been dealing with. Campers planning to visit any state parks should check any campfire ban levels of the place that they're staying and to do their part in preventing wildfires this summer. Earlier this week, the city of Spokane postponed all of their drive-in fireworks shows due to the increased risk of fire danger. The sites were going to be at 4 places across town, including Dwight Merkel and Avista Stadium. The city says they will reschedule the show for a later celebration date when it's safe. And if you'd like more information about where you can see fireworks in eastern Washington or Idaho, you can text the word 4th to the number on your screen. That's 509-448-2000. And ahead of tomorrow's 4th of July celebration in Coeur d'Alene, hundreds of people got some sun today at the lake. Our Morgan Trow went to check out City Park, where there is plenty of fun to enjoy.
Joshua, it is an absolutely beautiful day in Coeur d'Alene, and I'm here in the City Park where there are vendors selling cool treats, sing-alongs are going on, and the carnival is here. This is just one part of the 4th of July celebrations. The Coeur d'Alene City Park is always buzzing with excitement in the summer, but this weekend has been long awaited.
We have rainbow sugar cookie, which we made red, white, and blue for today. It has little star sprinkles in it and some white chocolate.
For the 4th of July weekend, the City Park is transformed into a family festival, hosting vendors from all over the inland Northwest. Destiny Munoz has her own stand for her business, John Doe, an edible cookie dough store.
2020 was not good.
She's been delivering cookie dough across the area with the business shutdowns in Washington, but being back in person has reminded her how much she missed being able to see the smiling faces of her customers. Surrounding her booth is a myriad of other fun activities. They have carnival games and rides, Disney sing-alongs, and of course, a way to cool off in Lake Coeur d'Alene.
It's great to have everybody out here again and see people. I'm just happy to be back out at events.
Many guests today were visitors from Washington, saying that the city of Spokane won't have as many activities to celebrate. Spokane postponed its 4 professional fireworks shows, and all amateur fireworks are banned due to an increased risk of fire danger. Coeur d'Alene may become the only legal way for people to get their fireworks fix this holiday weekend.
And if you missed today, this entire event will be taking place tomorrow from 11 in the morning to 7 in the evening. And then the iconic fireworks show will start at 9:45 in the evening. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Morgan Traub, KREM 2 News.
And if you want to avoid the crowds in Coeur d'Alene this weekend but still catch the show, KREM 2 will be streaming the show live on the CW22 at 10 p.m. tomorrow night.
Oh, it's much cooler than it was, and if you're in the shade, you're relatively comfortable. It was not that way 5 days ago.
Hikers were out at Riverfront Park this morning enjoying the cooler weather this weekend after temperatures in the hundreds over the past week that broke multiple historic heat records. So this cool down couldn't have come at a better time with the 4th of July weekend. We know many of you have plans to head outside to enjoy this holiday. We are joined now by meteorologist Michelle Boss in our Outdoor Weather Center. Michelle, I feel like saying cooler has to have asterisks, right?
That's right. Any other time, any other year, this would have been the heat wave, what we're seeing right now, the 90s. But of course, we certainly surpassed that last week. And so temperatures, even 81 degrees at 11 o'clock is still considered relatively cool. I think last week we had 11 o'clock temperatures that were still in the 90s. So crazy. 71 right now, though, in Coeur d'Alene. As we think of temperatures tomorrow evening, it should be similar to what we're seeing tonight. So up north in Sandpoint, temperatures will be in the mid-60s, 60s in Deer Park, but still relatively mild here in Spokane. We'll be looking at temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Still staying at 80 degrees in Moses Lake and 82 degrees in Lewiston. Of course, we haven't had any measurable rain for almost 3 weeks. We are looking at dry weather to continue right on through the holiday weekend. We have clear skies out there right now, expecting plenty of sunshine tomorrow. Just a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity up north in British Columbia, where they certainly do not need any more lightning, already dealing with many wildfires out in that location. Next 12 hours should be quiet for us, though. Clear skies, sunny conditions to start the day tomorrow. By 9 o'clock, we'll already be up in the middle 70s. And taking a look at the next 3 days, still certainly could be categorized as a heat wave. Temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above average. 93 for your 4th of July, 94 on Monday, and in the upper 90s on Tuesday.
Well, AAA expects travel this weekend to return to pre-pandemic levels as Washington State continues to reopen. And with more drivers expected to hit the roads, you might notice extra troopers out as well. They'll be watching for speeding and distracted drivers.
Not that we aren't enforcing this law all the time, 365 days a year, but it's just pushing it to the front of people's mind as they're traveling. Speed is a contributing factor to a lot of the serious injury and fatal collisions.
Idaho State Police will also have extra DUI patrols this weekend. That will continue through next Thursday. Meanwhile, the death toll of heat-related deaths continues to rise around the state. After the break, we'll take a look back at the devastation the heat dome has had on Washington.
Dear freedom, let's go. With the confidence knowing that tomorrow's road will be better than today's. To bold new adventures wherever your heart leads. Onward, Venza.
Get $750 customer cash on a 2021 Venza hybrid all-wheel drive, or you can lease the new 2021 Venza for $259 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
When Grandma suggested cookies, Kyle wasn't expecting the new Nestle Toll House Chocolate Chip Cookie Blizzard. 2 beloved treats, soft-baked Nestle Toll House Chocolate Chip Cookies and world-famous DQ Soft Serve, all in one treat. The good times roll when these two get together, just like G-Ma and her G-Son, making memories while mixing 2 favorites. With the Nestle Toll House Chocolate Chip Cookie Blizzard, only at DQ. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Save up to $170 when you bundle select tires, brakes, and shocks. Plus, save $30 using your Les Schwab credit account. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Another top story tonight, Okanagan County is now reporting 3 heat-related deaths in their county this week. They have not yet identified the victims of the heat wave, but they are encouraging people to check on their friends and neighbors when temperatures rise to extreme levels. Now, this update comes the same week that the Spokane County Medical Examiner reported that as many as 11 deaths might be heat-related. According to that report, circumstances suggest the heat was an issue, but autopsy results are not yet available in all of these cases to confirm that suspicion. In fact, just yesterday, a third person's death was confirmed to be heat-related. 81-year-old David Bev Lemming. Heat exposure also has been confirmed as the cause of death for 64-year-old Deanna Farwell and 84-year-old Beverly Martin. And as we mentioned, the medical examiner has not yet been able to complete and release autopsy results from the other suspected heat-related deaths, which do include 2 men who died in an apartment building in downtown Spokane on Wednesday. The men lived in units close to each other, and neighbors say both men were suffering from heat-related stress. With the reopening of Washington state over the last week, landlords are now able to raise their rent in certain situations. It's part of Washington's eviction bridge plan, which means rent costs can be increased as early as September 1st, and first notifications have already been received, leaving some renters very worried. When you add up all of his rent and utilities, Isaiah Campbell says he pays $1,170 per month for now.
They gave me a 60-day notice saying that my rent's going to be increased by about $400, as well as an option to, if I want to go month to month, I can spend an extra $100 to just stay on that month-to-month basis.
So basically going up $500.
That's nearly a 42% increase, and it's not even the largest increase reported so far.
We're seeing them anywhere from 30 to 50%. I think the worst one, I got an email yesterday from a tenant who received a notice that their rent is going up from $1,000 to $1,700.
Terry Anderson with the Tenants Union of Washington State says these increases are not surprising. The incoming rent increase for Washington renters comes from a combination of factors, from the state of our local and statewide economies to the booming housing market. Anderson says particularly steep increases could also be an avenue that landlords choose to force an eviction without just cause.
We call those economic evictions because they may not have been served a summons in court, but when your rent goes up $700 a month, what are your choices?
As for Campbell's choices, the rental increase has forced him to ask some serious, life-changing questions about what he should do next.
I was probably going to get a couple of credit cards paid off, which would have helped me quite a bit. I would have been able to put aside some money for my car payment. I'm still paying off my car. I might have to consider selling my car, which I have put quite some money into.
Now at the bottom of your screen, we have the hotline number for the Tenants Union, and they're asking you to call and share your situation with them. Locally, you can also bring your concerns to the Spokane Low Income Housing Consortium, or Anderson says you should also voice your concerns to City Hall directly. She says that could lead to change before September 1st. Meanwhile, a fire is burning in the Gulf of Mexico. That's right, in the Gulf of Mexico. The fire was caused when a Mexico state-owned oil company's undersea gas pipeline ruptured and began spilling into the Gulf. Mexican officials dispatched fire control boats to pump more water over the flames, but the oil company says no one has been injured as a result of this accident. It is still unclear how much environmental damage this gas leak and oceanic fireball has caused. And if you're just joining us tonight, the Corkscrew fire is still burning in Stevens County right now, but evacuation orders have been lifted. Crews on scene tell KREM 2 News it is still a very active fire that burned dangerously close to at least one home and threatened as many as 30. KREM 2 will continue tracking this fire, and all of the information right now you can find for the latest updates on krem.com.
We may not be breaking any records, but still in the midst of a heat wave. 90s today and more 90s in the forecast. I'll have more coming up.